Hey, Wembug World Entertainment, and as you can see, Ncuti Gatwa is back in the news because now he's joking that only about 12 people watched him as Doctor Who. Yeah, I love when these actors finish these things after shitting over everybody and then they come back and admit, yeah, my run and stuff with this was a disaster. Now, he said this on Saturday Night Live UK, where it was part of his opening monologue, and people are just like, yeah, and he's getting called out for it because now he's getting trolled where, well, you told us all to go and touch grass, so we went and touched grass instead of watching you. But let's dive into exactly what he said here. So, as you can see, Ncuti Gatwa jokes only about 12 people watched him in Doctor Who. So, Ncuti Gatwa is now joking about how few people watched his run on Disney's Doctor Who. The former 15th Doctor hosted Saturday Night Live UK and used his monologue to take a shot at his time in the TARDIS, saying millions watched him on Sex Education, but about 12 watched him on Doctor Who. Now, this almost feels like he's trying to pull a Sydney Sweeney, where, of course, Madam Web came out and she said, you know, you've watched me in these things, and everyone cheered, and she goes, you definitely didn't see me in Madam Web, and people praised her for it because she took a direct shot. There's a massive difference between what Ncuti Gatwa's just done and what Sydney Sweeney done. The movie was still in the cinema when Sydney Sweeney took the shot. He's been out of the TARDIS for a year. It's just like, yeah, it doesn't quite work the same way, does it? Plus, you've just tried to copy what Sydney Sweeney did. So Gatwa brought up his career during the monologue and compared the response to Sex Education with his Doctor Who run, where he said, I've had so many fantastic roles in my career. Millions of you watched me as Eric in Sex Education, and then about 12 of you watched me in Doctor Who. Maybe that's why I kept crying. Good God. So he's even bringing up the crying. Apparently he even kind of takes a shot at Billy Piper in this. So he then tried to soften the punchline, saying, joking aside, it was genuinely a magical role. In fact, it was the first time my parents were truly proud of my career. You know what? If that's true, that's sad. That's actually really sad if that's true. That he starred in this massive show on Netflix, which was Sex Education, which I actually liked. Sex Education, yeah, there's a bit of wokeness in it, but I actually thought it was funny, especially the first couple of seasons, and he was good in it. Eric was a funny character, but if he managed to have a massive role like that, and everything he kind of pushes with his identity, of course, is his gayness and stuff, and he was very flamboyant in Sex Education, it's like, does his parents not accept who he is? Which then, to play the Doctor, who in his case was still gay, or is it the fact that it's like they prefer him not being in roles where he's swearing or doing all of that type of stuff? I don't know. I just think that's an interesting statement from him, that it's the first time his parents were truly proud of his career. So Gatwa continued with another joke about his casting, where he said, when I told them I got the part, they said, finally, a doctor in the family. Even though I have since regenerated into Billy Piper. I don't understand it either. I still love Doctor Who, and I got to meet so many crazy characters. Sort of a bit like this place. Now, there's a massive issue with him talking about, but you know, all these crazy people and stuff on the Saturday Night Live UK. Nobody's watching Saturday Night Live UK. It's an absolute disaster. I think they're only about 4, maybe 5 episodes in right now. Like, it's nobody's watching it. Nobody talks about it. The ratings apparently are absolute disaster. So congratulations, Ncuti. You've starred in something else that's an absolute joke. So the joke is getting attention because Gatwa's Doctor really was a ratings disaster. So Gatwa played the Doctor for 2 seasons as part of the BBC's Disney deal. After that run, Disney exited the partnership, with reports confirming the streamer would no longer co-produce the main series after 2 seasons. Now, from what we're hearing, AMC has picked up distribution rights or something to show older Doctor Who. Don't know about more modern stuff, but the older, which is leaning into the rumor that AMC could be the ones who do the new partnership with the BBC to try and continue doing Doctor Who. The problem you would have with that is I never even knew that AMC had an app. Did you got, like, I don't mean an AMC app. I know there's an app for like getting your movie tickets and stuff, but I mean like a streaming service app. They have a streaming service app. Never ever knew that. Did any of you guys know that they have a streaming app? Because that's so strange to find that out. And it's like, okay, but what the hell is AMC gonna do with Doctor Who? Because it's so strange to think, when I hear AMC, all I can think of is the cinemas. I never would look at it and say, oh, they do TV and stuff like that. Like, what the hell is on AMC's streaming service? God only knows. I think I heard The Walking Dead or something is on it. It's like, okay. Honestly, I thought The Walking Dead was a Warner Brothers thing, so maybe it's not. But the fact that he is now acknowledging that, yeah, his time as the Doctor was a colossal disaster. And the funny thing is, him, Russell T Davies and everyone else is pretty much only themselves to blame, because they flat out said, oh, if you don't accept this, you're a homophobe, you're this, you're that. You know, he came out and said, hey, just go touch grass. Jinx Monsoon said, for every bigot we lose, we gain new fans. And they gained nobody. Nobody came to watch. It was outright rejected. Disney walked away from the deal. The ratings were in the toilet. And people were just like, you told us to go touch grass. We went and touched grass. It's a disaster. And don't forget, here we are in the middle of May. There's still meant to be a Doctor Who Christmas special this year. They don't even have anyone cast as the Doctor. They don't have a story written, from what we understand. And the rumor doing the round is, every time they approach somebody and put it out there for the feelers to say, like, hey, how do you feel about becoming the Doctor for a Christmas special? The reception back is, no, that's a poisoned brand. That'll do damage to our career if we said yeah to that. So it's not looking like that Christmas special is going to happen this year at all. So unless they panic and they run and go, hey, try and get David Tennant back again. Don't see it working. Don't see the Christmas special being out this year. And the fact that Ncuti Gatwa is now recognizing that it was a disaster, that he's calling it out, that, hey, only 12 people watched. Yeah, tells you everything you need to know. Except about 12 people didn't watch it. About 5 people watched it. So, what do you think of his whole joke and the monologue that he's now taking shots at his time as the Doctor? Let us know. And with that, I shall leave it there for this one. So do like and share and subscribe and all that good stuff. Cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.